seems like some Democrats are not coping too well. Many of them took to the streets to take part in this No Kings protest over the weekend. And judging by this protester in Philadelphia, well, it was a lot of fun.
I'm just so scared. I'm 74 years old. I worry about everything, and I just am so scared and upset, and I don't understand why people did and voted for this person.
You know, I look at that and I feel sorry for her. And I just want to blame the Democrats and the mainstream media because they have just drilled so much fear into this woman and so many others. But someone needs to tell them they're going to be okay. Democracy has not ended. And guess what? They have a president. They don't have a king.
Yeah, the protest was the No Kings protest. But you watch this lady, she should be going to the No Network News protest. I want to write her a prescription for, you need to go camping, lady. You need a big hug and somebody to make you a nice lunch and turn your television off. That's what, she just seems so scared and miserable. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. And that's the result when you're constantly told that you have a dictator in charge and the democracy is ending and your rights are getting taken away. No wonder you've got real people that are absolutely terrified. However, Trump has been in power for quite a bit of time now, so she probably should have caught on that things are going to be okay. But of course, there were Hollywood celebrities that were spotted at the No Kings protests, including actor Jack Black, who was spotted giving children high fives. Yeah, I really don't know how I feel about children attending these protests. Is that really going to help the cause, having Jack Black there and giving them high fives?
It's not. It really isn't. It makes you worry about Jack Black. But he did something that was so smart. He left his headphones on. So if everybody's like, whoa, Jack Black was at a protest, that's no good. He can be like, I had no idea. I was listening to Depeche Mode. He has plausible deniability. Now, here's what I want to know. What was in his backpack? That was a heavy backpack. I don't think that was full of carrots. I think Jack Black is cheating on his diet. He's out there pretending to protest and eating ding-dongs. He needs to come clean with America.
All right, we'll get someone to put the questions to him. But Jane Fonda is here in Australia and she's offered some words of wisdom to her audience. She described the President of the United States as that effer. And although she admitted that 78 million people voted for Donald Trump, she claimed that, those people must be having some buyer's remorse by now. And her rant continued. She said, F those non-liberals and fascists and people who don't move to love. We have to move to love and empathy. Interesting. Would you say calling the President of the United States that effer and saying F non-liberals is a way we move to love?
Right? You can't do it. We need to move to love. I hate that guy. That's her. It's a sad existence for Jane Fonda. I read this article. She got off the plane in a wheelchair and she's like, I feel better now than I did in my 20s. Were you rocking a wheelchair back then, Jane? I want to apologize to everybody who went to this show. Like, they heard things they shouldn't hear. Jane Fonda said that, the shop is closed up talking about her girl parts due to flooding. Those people are going to need, psychiatric help with that imagery. I don't want that in my head. I don't want to think about Jane Fonda and anything closed up for flooding. She's not a good person. Oh, my apologies to the people who attended this show and shelled out a lot of money. She made like $300,000 to go to a beautiful country and just drop a couple F-bombs and talk about how she can't control her bladder. That's not movie star behavior.
Look, you might need to help out Tampon Tim at the moment. He was asked a very simple question that he just could not understand.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Every time I look at it, it's amazing. He has no idea. You know, he's had so much time. You'd think he'd come up with some kind of answer, and he's got nothing. He doesn't know.
I don't think he really knows.
He doesn't know.
But whatever we do, keep him away from Jane Fonda.
Look, finally, it was 10 years ago to this day that this happened.
With a baby in her hand, near the North Street light, near a garbage can.
10 years ago to the day Donald Trump announced his presidential bid. Wow, it's been a pretty wild decade.
It really has, and what an iconic moment. And at the top of that escalator, he's still just a great businessman and a philanthropist and a friend of humanity. And by the time he got to the bottom, they're like, wow, he's Hitler. He's a fascist. They turned fast, but it's an iconic moment in a career. Trump has had so many iconic moments. Even when the assassin bullet took his ear, like, and then he brings his fist up and he's like, fight, fight, fight. This guy's had more iconic moments. If I was Trump after a bullet had hit my ear, I'd never give a speech with my head in one spot at the same time. I'd never stop moving.
Yeah, he's absolutely incredible. That was an iconic moment for sure, but should not have happened. Comedian and writer Michael Loftus, thank you so much for joining us and speaking to us here on Power Hour.
Thank you, and I hope you get my birthday gift to you.